China's most incredible landscapes are often the most remote. In a new effort to protect these lands and bolster ecotourism, China has begun to create a national park system, and these parks are set to become some of the world's largest parks. As a nature photographer, I've had the privilege to explore some of these areas and document the wildlife and wilderness they protect. By last year, China had officially protected 18% of its land to remain undeveloped and wild. This is a major accomplishment after only creating its first nature reserve in the 1950s, 3/4 of a century after the beginning of America's national park system. Now, the amount of protected land in China even exceeds the US and will be completed by the new park system. The first 10 national parks are a targeted response to meet the yet unsolved problems that have lingered after China's now 70-year push to conserve its natural resources. Today, most of these problems revolve around how to give access to nature to 1.4 billion people in a way that is sustainable, but also culturally and environmentally appropriate. Now, after almost 10 years of planning, China's national parks spread across the country, from tropical Hainan Island in the south to the northeast Tiger and Leopard National Park along China's border with Russia in the north. Across China's vast landscape, they present a new model for interaction between its people and wilderness. In Sanjiangyan National Park, which I explore and photograph almost every summer, nearly every local Tibetan family within the park has one family member who works as a ranger for the park. In the Giant Panther National Park, different eco-education camps host children from different cities, giving China's next generation invaluable exposure to nature. While large parts of these national parks will be closed off to tourists and strictly reserved for protection, other areas will be opened for ecotourism activities like hiking, bird watching, and helping collect data on wildlife. The national parks also shelter and protect some of China's most iconic species and beautiful landscapes, from migrating Tibetan antelope to the spectacular peaks of Wuishan in the east. One of my personal favorite moments inside the parks was camping, cooking over a fire, and watching the sunrise with rangers in Shenlongjia. We can expect to see the first 10 national parks become official this year. The new national park system will aggressively change the way protected areas in China are accessed by its people. But the question of access still remains. In Sanjiangyan, there are only 2,000 visitors allowed this year out of all of China. Still, when protecting some of the world's most vulnerable and precious places, moving forward with deliberate caution is key. The parks reflect China's growing commitment towards protecting its resources. And when the world opens up to travel again, these national parks will allow the world to experience China in an entirely different way. I'm Kyle Obermann, nature contributor for the China Current. Follow us for more stories on China's wilder side.
I am James Chow. You're watching the China Current. Follow us on social media @the China Current.